Yay! That's what we want to hear!
That's what we want to hear!
Congratulations on the film.
Thank you!
Thank you.
I'm amazed at how you, Maya, created such chemistry with an animated character. How was it like playing opposite Stitch, who wasn't really there?
I had to use my imagination a lot, or we would look at a ball, or maybe
Stuffy.
a stuffy or a person.
She was constantly like excited to play. She was always saying yes, you know, and I think that that was what made her so incredible in the film, you know, and such a great co-star to be able to work against, you know. So she was amazing.
Yeah, and Stitch is one of among many people's favorite Disney characters. Why do
Yeah.
both of you guys think that is?
Because he's chubby and he's cute, and
He is.
he's a
He's a
little
little bit of a
rascal.
menace. Yeah, exactly.
He's a little rascal.
But you know what? He has a huge heart, and like I don't think he's ever found a home. And I think that that's the coolest thing about Lilo is that they both had a missing piece and they found it together. So I think that's been the coolest factor for everybody as fans.
Down from there.
Look like an angel.
No. Control him. Hey, what are you doing?
This film it's so funny, it's heartwarming, and it's so emotional. I cried my heart out.
Yay! That's what we want to hear.
That's what we want to hear. Woo!
How do you feel about making audiences cry all over the world?
So great.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Amazing.
like I mean, I feel bad, but at the same time, like, yay.
Yay.
I mean, I think that like we poured our heart into everything, and I think that like that's
Yeah.
the whole beautiful part about Lilo and Stitch to begin with. And I think you still get the highs and lows, and you laugh your butt off, and then you're able to have those moments. And I think that's what Disney does so well. So I'm glad that people were able to connect to that, and hopefully
Yeah.
everybody else does too.
Sydney, I want to talk about you have a very impressive underwater scene in
Thank
this
you.
film that I think a lot of people will be talking about. Can
Oh,
you
thanks.
can you talk me about like how did you train for that scene
Yeah.
and how did you actually make it happen?
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, that was really surreal for me as well, and it was such a cool experience. We did a lot of training to begin with. We did a lot of water training. They made sure that we really knew how to swim, really knew how to surf, and do all those things. And I was guided by some really incredible watermen in Oahu and big wave surfers. And I did breathing techniques and breathing exercises, and we, you know, practiced them as much as we could. And then I'd take a really heavy rock underwater, and then they'd time me, and then I'd try to make sure that I kept my cool as long as I could. And I ended up finding some really blissful moments, and now it's become like a passion or a hobby of mine, which is really cool.
I don't think you're supposed to drink that.
Agent Cobra.
You also have this like real sibling fight as someone with siblings myself, it felt so real. Like you wrestle in the way that only siblings do.
Yeah.
Did you do stunt training for that scene? Like how did that work?
Well, I think like when you're doing any sort of scene, the hope is that you get a rehearsal, and especially with different types of scenes like that where you're doing gags or you're doing stunts and stuff, there's always like a safety thing involved. So you always want to make sure that the other person or your partner is going to be able to understand what's going on. And I think because we had such a good connection already, there was a trust built there, and then we had great stunt coordinator and a great production team to help us through everything. And then so we just got to practice and then have fun. So
Maya, how was it wrestling with Sydney?
yeah, girl.
It was, how do I explain this? It was,
I think you had a little too much fun.
yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, wait, if it's like fun, and then she's gonna be like, why, you had fun wrestling with me? Like, huh? How do I put it? Yeah, it was fun pretending to wrestle her. And also a lot of stunts, how the stunts was good. and then spend it with her. Sometimes. Right?
We are not keeping this thing.
Ohana means family. Family means nobody gets left behind.
Or forgotten.
Stitch bad.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good.